Let's thank Maurice and Zara and the family, and let's also thank Jackie Shaker for sponsoring these classes until he sponsored 4 weeks in a row. And I think it's Lenu Shmat, right? Lenu Shmat.
Eliyahu ben Victoria.
Eliyahu ben Victoria. And also Lenu Shmat, Miriam Bat Chaya, Bat Bracha. All the words of Torah should have a Lenu Shmatam. And Refuah Shlema for all the list that we pray for, every single person. Bifrat, also David ben Chana, Lav Bat Simcha. Anyone else?
Adam ben
Mazal.
Simcha bat Miriam.
Simcha Bat Binyan.
Shafira Bat Rachel.
Anyone else?
Eliyahu ben Salcha.
Eliyahu ben Sacha.
Rafael Ben
Rafael ben Mazal. And Sarah Bat? And Sarah Bat? Sarah Bat, Mark? Vivian? Amen. Hashem should give them refuah shlema b'minah b'minu. Amen. Amen. Let's go. Good. Beautiful. It's good to see all your boys. Almost coming to Shavuot time. You know, we get to the feeling. Tonight's class is going to be an interesting class. Hope you guys like it. It took me a couple of hours to put together. That's it. This one's already in my mind. If it's already in my mind, it takes me a couple hours just to write down. Anyways, the Parashat this week is Axarei Mot, and the way of the Parashas that they're written up is a very, very strange order. Right, but the wording is Axarei Mot Kedoshim. If you read in English, it says after death, holiness. Axarei Mot Kedoshim. That's what it says. That's what it means. That's what the Parashas are. And the question is, if that's the case, that means you must learn something from that. Meaning Axarei Mot Kedoshim. Something's together with that. It's part of the class. It's good. So tonight we're going to discuss what's that about, and we're going to go a little bit deeper. Let's continue. If it says Axarei Mot Kedoshim, that means it's something that's involved after something happens. Meaning, when tragedy happens, right after whatever happens next, everything else is already kadosh. Meaning, sometimes in life, when you talk about mavet or death, it's not only the actual physical thing. It's also talking about when people have tough times in life. They get knocked down. You get knocked down. It's what happens right after that makes you who the person you are. That's what it's all about. It's not about what happened at that moment. It's about what happened right after. Like they say, when a guy gets married, it's not the actual wedding night, right? It's the next morning you wake up. You already start to be married. That's how you live. That's what proves that you're a husband and wife. It's not the wedding night. The wedding night, everyone's happy, everyone's glowing. But the next morning, are you ready to face up to the manhood? That's what it's all about. It's all about what happens right after. Axarei Mot Kedoshim. Boom. Right after everything happens, now you're the man. You have to take charge. You have to be a real person. So let's speak about that tonight. It's an interesting thing. In Parashat Shalach, when the Menaglim, when they spoke about Israel and they passed away, right after they passed away, it says that the Bnei Yisrael, they were mourning the whole night. Vayitablu kol halayla. The whole night they were crying and mourning. But the next pasuk, the first word it says, Vayashkimu baboker. They woke up in the morning. So why does the Quran need to tell us they woke up in the morning? Obviously they woke up. Bnei Yisrael woke up in the morning. It's an obvious thing. They woke up. Meaning one night they were crying all night. They were mourning what happened. But the next morning, Vayashkimu. They woke up. They continued their life.
That's what it means?
That's what it means.
They woke up realizing the mistake they made. And
They did, that's one explanation, great explanation. But also they woke up meaning they're ready to continue to continue serving Hashem. They're not gonna get setbacks. It's like this past week, I'll give you an example. This past week, it was on Thursday. In the morning, so I don't know, I had a funeral. I went to a funeral in the morning. And in the afternoon, I went to a Brit Milah. Morning went to a funeral, afternoon went to a Brit Milah. Right there, that is the nation of Israel. Yeah. I had a funeral in the morning. Went to Miriam Barach's funeral in the morning, and then right after that, in the afternoon, went to Brit Milah. And I was saying to myself, wow, look at the way the day of the life. Look at the whole day. I saw the whole lifespan. Someone passed away, then I saw someone come to the world. That's what the whole nation is all about. It's about getting knocked down and coming back up. It's a circle. No one is going to be perfect forever, but it's a circle. That's the way life is. You have to know that that's the way it is. It's never going to be on top, it's never going to be on the bottom. It's a circle. You got to understand it, and it's a beautiful thing. You're going to see how deep it is tonight. Does anyone know what the first mitzvah in the Torah is? First mitzvah.
Procreation.
Now, first one.
Wow.
First mitzvah in the whole Torah. The Torah.
Where? What parasha?
It's in Bereshit. It's actually one of the first Rashis. It's a Rashi though. It's pretty. It's a trick question. Like it's not a trick question. Not Kedubu.
Shabbat.
Not Shabbat. It's before everything. Before Torah. Before everything. It's in the first.
God, believing in God.
No, it's a mitzvah that we have to do. We do it every month. Kiddush HaChodesh, to bless the moon. That's the first Torah. That's the first mitzvah in the whole Torah.
Where in the Torah does it say that?
First Rashi.
What's the pasuk?
Bereshit, but I like it. It says a Rashi on it. It says a machloket. What is the first mitzvah? And it says over there that already is a mitzvah already in there
To bless the
to bless the moon. And the question is, why is the first mitzvah in the whole Torah blessing the moon? There's so many other things. Getting married, right? Having kids, or you would say respecting your rabbis, or learning Torah, whatever. There's so many things. Even believing in Hashem. There's no mitzvah right in the front. The first one is blessing the moon. The question is, why do we need to bless the moon, and why is it the first one in the whole Torah? It's an amazing thought. Listen to this amazing answer. The Jewish people, we go by the moon. Our life is based around the moon. Our months, the weeks, the holidays, everything's in the moon. Time, everything. By the Goyim, by the sun. Why? Why don't we go by the sun? You know what's amazing about the moon? The moon, every month, it goes through a cycle. The beginning of the month, you don't see it.
A little sliver.
It's a little sliver.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even see it.
Yeah.
The clouds blocking it, you can't see it. It's tiny. Then it grows and it grows and it grows. So by the 9th day of the month, it's very little thicker. By 11th to 12th, when it gets to the 15th, 10th vav of the month, it's already in its full glory.
Wow.
It's a huge circle. You see it's booming. But then, after it's in the climax, 16th, the 17th, the 20th, the 21st, 26th, it starts getting done. By the end of the month, you don't see it anymore. So in the beginning of the month, it starts off, you don't see it. It gets to the climax in the middle of the month, you see it shining. But then at the end of the month, you don't see it again. And you think, that's it, it's gone. But no. Next month, same thing happens again. The moon is always going through a cycle.
Is there significance as to it starting and ending with nothing? Versus starting with...
Person's life.
Ending, I'm saying starting with... Like maybe you would think it starts with the Rosh Chodesh should be when it's a full moon, and then it ends the next Rosh Chodesh.
Well, yeah, we bless it when it's a full moon. We bless it by the middle of the month. Like the beginning of the month, but it's like...
Ashkenaz, the
What?
Ashkenaz opposite, huh? The first is?
I don't know. We bless it, you know...
There's a phase of the moon where it's totally, you can't see the moon
Or
at all.
Egyptian.
And the day after that, Rosh Chodesh, or maybe even that day sometimes, Rosh Chodesh, you get like the first little bit of light.
You start
and then
seeing
you look
it.
at it every day, it gets more and more. Then it's
Right.
the full moon, and then it
Right,
gets less.
so my question is why
Good
is
question,
the
yes.
first of the month when it's
Empty.
empty and not when
Right.
it's full?
It could be it's significant to a person's life. A person starts off nothing. He goes out to the world. Nothing. It could be it's the climax of his life. It's a certain climax. Good question. I have to look into it. I didn't prepare that part of the class, but it Rutsa always has me off guard. Always. He has a good mind. That means he's following. He's paying attention to the class. So the moon goes through a cycle. It always goes through a cycle. However, the sun does not. It's always fully intact. It's always perfectly staying still. But that's the goyim. You know why? Because the Jewish people, we don't base ourselves on perfectness. We don't expect life to be, totally sunlight all the time. It's not going to be always shining like it is. It's going to be like the moon. Sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. That's what a Jew is. Not the goyim. The goyim, they can't handle any problems. Once everything, for them, their life is like a sun. Everything's shining. Once it starts to get a little shaky, they go crazy. They don't know how to handle it. Most people in the entertainment industry, they live themselves like the sun. They're always in the spotlight. The minute they're done of the spotlight, you tell me, you guys know, what happens to them? Drugs, depression, I don't know what they do. The end of the rule, it ended up is, these days they call it overdose, but it's really called suicide.
Oh,
That's what it is.
coming up, yeah.
They changed the word of what it used to be. It used to be called suicide. Now it's an accidental overdose. There is no accidental overdose. The guy went to sleep, chugged a bottle of pills, and went to sleep and passed away. That's why he passed away. It's a suicide. Because they can't handle not being in the spotlight. I'm telling you, you guys know the story. A guy's a famous actor. Then no one knows him.
Not an actor, man.
No, give me an actor. Guy's a famous actor. Then he goes to do a reality show. He wants to still be in the fame. Then he gets a low gig show on a different network, and then he finally gets in the newspaper, and then he ends up being on Netflix, right? I don't know who he is. I'm just giving you an example. Right? A guy that he was, in his heyday, he was a popular guy. Once he's done, no one knows him anymore. And then once they don't know you, how do you act? Take themselves out of the game. What is this, Maurice? Oh, what? This guy told me you were in North Carolina today. Wow. What a surprise. A few hours ago he was in North Carolina. Wow.
What a
And he came tonight. And he told me he wasn't coming tonight. Wow.
You must have done some really bad things in North Carolina.
What can I get you, Shalom? You want a beer or?
Turn it into a good meeting, right?
Good job, man. So we're speaking about the moon. So we were saying how, like Eddie gave me an example of Aaron Hernandez, right? It's an amazing story. If you look at the whole story of his life, the way he grew up in high school and a star football player and everything.
You know more than I do.
And I look into it. I research these things. It's amazing to see how a person can go from such a high $50 million contract. Why would you want to kill somebody?
Guaranteed.
Because he's still
I think he killed someone before that, no?
I'm not a judge. I'm not gonna tell you if he's guilty or not. I'm not involved in that. However, I'm just looking at the mentality of a person. You have all the money in the world. The guy spills a drink on you, so you kill him. That's a life.
I think he was acquitted.
He's not even up. I don't know what he is. He could be a white guy.
Latino.
Whatever. I don't know what he is. I'm just saying that's the way of. It's not the way of a person.
Goose.
Look at across the board in any entertainment industry. You see this fact, right? Look at any celebrity there are. Then after their prime, you don't see them anymore. And if you do find out later on, then something happened to them. That's just it's a strange thing. But that's the truth. Us Jewish people do not live our life that way. We know there's ups and downs, and that's the only way to live healthy. We like the moon. We're not the sun. The sun is always shining. The moon, up and down. Sam, so far so good? Good? In Parashat Bereshit, there's an interesting person. I spoke about this once a long time ago. His name is Hanoch. It's in the beginning of the parasha, right before the flood of Noah.
Who's he again?
His name is Hanoch.
What do you do?
He was a famous person, but he was before the Mabul.
Remember what? Why was he famous?
He was a tzaddik.
Oh, okay.
He's before Noah's time, before the Mabul, before the Enosh. And what happened was this person was such a huge tzaddik that Hashem said, before I destroy the world, I'm taking you out. And the pasuk says straight up in the parasha. In Bereshit it says, "V'hanoch Elokim talech Noach ve'enenu ki lekach oto Elokim." Hashem took him out of the world, alive. Just took him out like a fly. He just took him out and put him into the next world. You know why? Because Hashem said, "You're too big of a tzaddik, and I'm gonna destroy the world now. But I don't want you to see it, so I'm taking you out." This guy's a huge tzaddik. So let me ask you guys a question. If this guy was a huge tzaddik, why don't we learn about him? Why don't the schools teach us about him? Why is he not called Hanoch Avinu?
There's
Right?
one sentence about him. No?
Right, one sentence. Not even. It's a person that
I
lived
know why.
before the Mabul,
I think I know why.
and his name is Hanoch.
Why?
It comes from the Adam Chava that time. He was in that time of period, that time of life.
Speak up.
No, so it's because what was it again? What was the question?
Why is Hanoch not considered a forefather?
Because you can't be perfect. You have to have some mistakes.
Beautiful. Beautiful, nice. Really, tzaddik. You're nice. You're nice.
What was that
Rolling.
mistake?
So Hanoch was totally perfect. He never sinned. But he went to Hashem took him out of the world.
There's nothing you can learn from him?
Nothing you can learn from him. You know why? Because I can't base my religion on him.
Right.
Because he was totally perfect. How could I relate to this kind of guy? However,
How do we know he's perfect? It doesn't talk about it.
it says Hashem Rashi says Hashem lakachoto. The pasuk says Enenu ki lakachoto Elokim. Hashem took him out of the world and he became an angel. And this guy, his name is, and now he's a new angel. He has a name called Matetron. His job is to write everything in the Shemaim. That's his job. He's an author in Shemaim. There's tons of Gemaras that people, so whatever. There's a whole different sugya over there. But we see from here that Hanoch was such a huge person, but we don't speak about him. It's Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So why not we mention him? Because like Rishi said, a tzaddik like that, we can't base our religion off him. Our first father, Abraham Avinu. The Rambam says he used to worship Avodah Zarah until the age of 40. 40 years old, Abraham Avinu, not 3. Some say 3. Rambam says no. Rambam says at 40 years old, he worshipped every single idol, and then he became Abraham Avinu. You know why? And we cherish that. You know why? Because that's someone we can believe on. Growth. He came from nothing, and he became something. Not like Hanoch. That's totally great. That's not for this world. That's in that world. Right now, I'm living in this world. I want you to be a tzaddik the way you are with all the challenges that you have.
How long did you live for, Abraham?
Abraham?
When did, like, at what age?
Abraham, 175.
175, so 40. Okay.
So 40 minus that's 135, 135 years. It's still a long life. But you see from here that Abraham Avinu was a person that we look up to because he went through these challenges, not like Hanoch. It's an amazing concept. Everyone get that concept? It's an amazing thing. Let's go to the next topic. This is an amazing topic now. Rabbi Akiva didn't give up. The whole class tonight is based itself that the Jewish people are like the moon. We go up, we come down, but we don't give up after the moon loses his climax and he goes down. He doesn't give up. He doesn't not show up for work the next day. He comes back. And he gets back and grows and grows and grows again. And that's what a Jewish person is. The moon has to go and come. A Jewish person also has to go through a life cycle and know how to go up and down. You have to go up and down. You have to get up and fall. Ki nafalti kamti. The minute you get up, you fall down. You good? Anyone behind me? Are you good?
Napkin?
Napkin?
Oh, sorry.
No, no. Rabbi Akiva did not give up. 24,000. I say this every class because we're almost coming to Lag BaOmer. Next week they have a Lag BaOmer class by Harry. It's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. It's an amazing class. Amazing topic. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Fire. Fire. When he spoke fire, when he looked at people, he burnt them to a crisp. But Rabbi Akiva, when 24,000 people died, he didn't give up. He didn't say, okay, that's it, my whole students passed away, I'm done. He continued, and he brought to life the next rabbi. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came from him. He didn't give up. He was like the moon. He kept on fire. He kept the ash. He didn't say 24,000 died, I'm not going to done. I'm going to keep on going. There's an amazing rabbi in Israel. There's a hospital in Netanya. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you didn't heard of it. It's called the Liniato Hospital. It's in Netanya. It's called Hospital Bet Cholim Liniato. It's a very, very famous hospital. And it's a hospital that goes according to halakha. Meaning, there's no there's no other alternative motives or anyone from the outside that can come in and tell the hospital how to live the rules of the hospital. They go according to halakha. Meaning, if the Torah says you can't pull the plug, they're not pulling the plug. They'll keep it forever. That's the way the hospital runs. And this hospital was set up by this amazing rabbi. I'll tell you what happened. There was a rabbi in the Holocaust, a famous rabbi. His name is the Sanser Rebbe, the Klosenberg Rebbe. He come to my house, I have a picture of him on the wall. He always has a smile of his face on him. It's a big Hasidic Rebbe. Tons of followers on him.
He survived the Holocaust?
He survived the Holocaust. Well, listen to what happened. He was in the cattle car. And mid-trip, they opened the gates of the cattle car. Nazis, they opened the gates and they told everybody, you're free, run out. Again, one guy opens the gate in the middle of the field, on the travels. They open the gates and they say, everyone run out, you're free. And he tells the students, don't run, don't believe it, it's a trick. It's a psychological trick. And someone said, no, what do you mean, it's a chance? A few minutes later, they heard gunshots. Everyone passed away. They ran away. And the one that stayed in the cattle car, they ended up surviving that trip. I don't know how long they survived later on. But this rabbi in the wartime, he had 11 children. He had a wife and 11 children during the war. During the war, 11 kids. It's called the Sanser Rebbe. Look him up.
He had them during the war?
Till the wartime, he had 11 kids. Already he was already a rabbi beforehand. They call him the Klosenberg Rebbe. They have crazy stories about him. I'm telling you, I can tell you stories you won't even believe it. There was one time when they were traveling on they call it Death March, and they were walking. They had no drink, nothing, no water. And he told the people, I'm going to say a certain, I'm going to pray. We're going to have a certain kavanah. And they got to a certain place when there was mud. There was mud, and he said, we're going to drink this. We're going to drink this. And he said, if we could drink this, Hashem's going to give us health. It was like a mekubal. And they drank it. The Baruch Hashem, people were able to have satiation from that. And at that moment, when he saw the way people were on that march and they saw how they were suffering and dying, He said to himself, Hashem, if you keep me alive, I promise you, I'm going to one day build a hospital. Because he saw people dying left and right, no one was taking care of them. He said, I'm going to build a hospital that's going to go according to halacha, and I'm going to save the Jewish people. That's my mission in life. And he survived the war. His wife and 11 kids passed away. Whole family gone. He moved to Israel after the war, and he remarried, and he had another 9 kids.
Wow.
That's the Sansa Rebbe, the Klosenberg Rebbe. Today his son is the Sansa Rebbe in Tanya. He's the one that today. Sansa, it's like the place that they used to live in. Sans. That's the place. It's like a Brooklyn Rebbe, the Queens Rebbe. They have it. It's called the Sansa Rebbe. No, I'm just saying if there was a place that they call him, that was his name. So this rabbi today, his son is the one that's the next dynasty, and the hospital was built by this rabbi. He's the one who built the hospital. You see from there what it means to not give up. Imagine 9, 11, and then come back and have 9 more. It's a whole other world.
Great.
That's like one world and then having another world. But he didn't give up. That's most of the Jewish people in the world. When after that war happened, they rebuilt and they resettled, and that's the beauty of the Jewish nation. That is the secret of the Jewish nation, not giving up. However, the Goyim do not have that idea. They go according to the sun. Meaning, if everything's great, then great. But once it's not good, we can't handle it. And then the apparent answer is, unfortunately, happens rampant, suicide. It's a very big problem. Also, unfortunately, it also happens in any community. But it's very rampant when it comes to the famous entertainment world, and also just regular people in general. People they don't have a guidance in life. They only think the only answer is to take life away. And there's a big sin to take someone's life away. First of all, it's not our life. We have no control over it. You can't take your life away because Hashem gave it to us. Who are you to steal life that Hashem gave it to you? Hashem gave you a soul. You're going to take it away before it's time? We have no control over that. We have to do our mission and go back. You know, you can't take something away that Hashem gave it to you. That's according to the regular halacha.
Drugs.
No, I'm talking about regular person that someone took away his life. Suicide. I'm talking about, depression, whatever it is. Again, sometimes it's...
Mark, you still smoke
Listen, sometimes...
I don't believe it.
I'm not talking about the actual situation. I'm talking about sometimes people...
Oh.
Guys, sometimes there's people that have unfortunately they have sicknesses where it's depression. It's a lot of things are mental problems. Also, we're not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that's not the Jewish way of life. The Jewish way of life is not give up when you have no option. No, when you have no option, find an option. When life seems like it's tough and you get knocked down and you go up and downs, get back up. That's what a Jewish person is. That is a tzaddik. Look at all our rabbis in Torah. We all go according to these rabbis that went up and down. Look at Rabbi Akiva. Until 40 years old, didn't know Aleph Bet. Didn't know Aleph Bet. I'll give you a story of a Tana in the Gemara. His name is Resh Lakish. You ever hear of him, Resh Lakish? Famous rabbi. You know why they call him Resh Lakish? Because he was Resh, the head, Lakish, from the pirates. He was the head of the pirates. He used to rob and steal as a bandit. He was a gang leader. He was a hoodlum.
Wow.
This is his name was. They call him Resh Lakish.
It's a crazy story how he converted.
Crazy story. I'll tell you the story. He didn't convert. He was Jewish.
Oh, he was Jewish?
He was Jewish.
How he got religious?
He got religious. And he used to rob people. He was a stealer. You ever hear of Jesse James? This guy was Jesse James at the time. So he was Jesse James.
Meyer Lansky.
Whatever. I don't know if he was he was a corrupt mafia guy. This guy was a robber, meaning like he would stake you out for the caravan, and boom, he would hijack the caravan. That's what Resh Lakish used to do. He used to hijack people. And one day, but he was a Jewish guy. Resh Lakish one day he staked out a group of people following, and the person that was walking was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Rabbi Yochanan. He staked him up to rob him, and he said he had a ton of. The Gemara says that he had a bag of tools. How he used to kidnap and hijack and tie them up. He had all those tools with him, and it says that there was a river that he used to cross between. He used to stay on one side of the river, and the caravan would travel on the other side of the river, and he would cross the river with his tools and hijack people. And one day, the Rabbi Yochanan sees Resh Lakish coming to him, and he tells him, "Stop. Before you attack us, I promise you, if you don't attack us, I'll give you my sister to marry her."
That's a good deal.
Again, you have to understand. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the Gemara says, he was I think, the second prettiest person to live. First to Yosef. Yosef was pretty, and it says that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had the face of Yosef. Prettiness in terms of yofi. So imagine a sister. So he said, if you don't attack me, I'll give you my sister.
Do you have a photo to show him?
I don't know if he had a photo. I don't know the Instagram picture, right?
Give me a photo.
But he said to him, if you marry me, if you don't attack me and you become with me to learn Torah and you become religious, I'll give you my sister. And he said, agreed. And an amazing thing happens. When I says that Rabbi Shakish had no power to cross the river anymore. What happened? The minute he accepted the agreement, he lost his power. The answer is that's why when someone, it's a little hint. When someone goes to the Torah and they finish the Aliyah, what do we say to him? Hazak Baruch. What does that mean? Hazak Baruch.
Strength and blessing.
Strength and blessing. Why? When you go to the Torah, it makes you weak. Tachash kocho. It makes you weak, not physically weak. The Torah it's a crazy thing. It's a very inspiring thing. We get used to it though. But some people, they love to get aliyahs. It's a huge thing. When you go to aliyah, you get your breath gets taken away. So when they get back from the aliyah, you give them hazak baruch. You give them strength. We don't feel it, but we say it anyways. Hazak baruch, hazak baruch. That's what it means. That's what it really comes from. So in the Torah, it makes a person weaker, and that's why.
Torah make you weaker?
Not spiritually, physically.
Why?
That's the way Torah is. Torah is a hard thing. It's not easy to learn Torah. It takes a lot of energy to learn Torah. It takes a lot of effort. You have to wake up, you have to come, you have to toil. It's not just learn Torah out of a book. You have to really put a lot of effort in. It takes a lot of energy. So that's what they used to say, Chazak Baruch.
What's Chazak Baruch?
Strength and valor. Same thing, same concept. But that's just a side point of Rosh Hashanah, how he came from nowhere and became a Tana. These people came from nowhere. That's what we base our religion on. But I want to give you guys now a story to end off the class. It's a nice long story. It's a beautiful Gemara. I have it here. Masechet Gitin. You probably heard the story. You probably didn't hear the story. A lot of questions. Rusa, I'm ready for you. I prepared it. I'm ready for the questions. I know you're going to shoot me down like crazy, but I have the Gemara with me. Mark Savag, you with me? Listen to this story. This one is an amazing story. Sam, you ready for this one? Parashat Shmini, a few weeks ago, we just spoke about all the animals that are asur to eat. All the birds and the spiders and the different animals, right? The pig. There's one bird that is asur to eat. It's tameh. It's tameh. Listen to this amazing thing.
Raven?
Not the raven. A bunch of different things. First of all, the main question is, how come some things are asur to eat? Well, you might think, why, you're going to choke on it? No. Why are some animals asur and some are not asur? Why could you eat a cow and you can't eat, a rabbit, or you can't eat another thing? The Gemara says that each animal has a certain trait that if you eat that animal, you will inherit that trait.
What's the trait in the cow? They eat cow all the time.
Everyone eats cows, steaks.
That's
That's what we eat. I don't know exactly each animal in this specifically. I do know one trait of one animal that I prepared on. So I'm going to speak about that animal. Every other one, no, it's a good question, but every other animal I don't know about. And actually, I anticipated someone asking me that question. So I prepared this answer for me for a while. I didn't say no one, I said someone. Someone's going to ask me this question. It's a good question though. But I know one animal, and it's called the duchafit. Duchafit, it's in the Parashat. It says the duchafit is a tameh. The duchafit is a type of bird. And if you want to Wikipedia, it's called the hopo bird. Hopo, hupu, one of those birds. It's a predator bird. You can instantly Google it. It's a bird. It has like a funny head, like a crown on it. It's like a funny, looks like a rooster bird. It's got a big, long beak. It's called a duchafit. Daf, Daled, Vav, Kaf, Yud, Pei, Taf, Aleph. Duchafit. Taf, sorry. You know how I spell it. Look up at the Chumash and you'll find it. Duchafit. It's in there. And the question is, why is a duchafit tameh to eat? Why is he asur to eat it? Listen to what kind of trait he has. You saw it?
No, the phone's not loading.
No service in this.
No, it's not the house.
What's it called?
Hoopo.
The hoopo. How does it look?
Yeah,
like a funny bird, right?
Yeah, it's funny looking.
Funny looking bird.
Pretty.
It's like a zebra, I know.
Wow, it's very sharp.
It's a very sharp bird. You want to pass it around? Show it down. Let's go pass it around. It's a duchafit. It's a very interesting bird.
It's sharp.
Might as well pass it around. If you can look at it, show it around. Pass it around.
Oh, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, get 2 phones going around.
Where do they go? Like, where
Show this side of the group so they can see it, so I don't think I'm lying.
It's a nice bird.
It's a beautiful bird.
Beautiful.
Show us somebody.
I want one.
This is the bird. See, that's the bird, okay? It's a beautiful bird.
From India.
There you're from. You're from India.
From India?
Oh, just a side note, the state of Israel, that's the national bird. I'm just giving you a
This is the national bird of
Yeah,
Israel?
that's the national bird of Israel.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah. It's called the Duchafit. It's NK, it's Talmeh.
Flip through my bird.
I don't know, there's no significance to that. I'm just saying that's their national bird. However, listen to the story the Gemara brings.
Hoopoe, Dochefit in Israel, Hoopoe is the national bird.
Yeah,
There's no
see?
Wikipedia.
I'm well versed in Wikipedia. Alright, let's continue, guys. Let me just finish up
Strong.
strong.
We got Torah in here, it's rolling. Leviticus.
After the class.
Among the animals that are.
Most after the class. I have the Gemara already. I'll need the Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is like the Torah.
I have the Elif Haftalim. Listen to this. Gemara Masech Gittin. Samechet Lahavdil means separated 1,000 times. Well, some things Wikipedia are not true also. A lot of them are edited by regular people. You can just post right.
I can post it.
I can write by anyone here, you know? This guy was a national president. He wasn't, you know? Masechet Gittin, Daf Samechet speaks about this bird. Listen to this story, guys. You're gonna blow your minds away. Ready for this? In the times of the Beit HaMikdash, they had these huge stones. You go to the hotel these days, you see a huge stone. How did someone cut the stone? How did you carry the stone on your back? Look at the stones. They're called Herodian stones from Herod. Huge stones, and the outline of the stone has like a cut around it. Huge, massive stones. If you ever think about it, how could you possibly lift or move or cut the stone? And there's a rule, when you build the Beit HaMikdash, you can't use a knife. You can't use any metal. You can't use any chainsaw, no stone cutters, nothing. These days, a tile guy, he cuts tile with a machine. But imagine not using a machine. How are you going to cut tile? You break it? Get a karate guy to cut it in half? Some guys can cut it in half, but how much stone can you cut? They used to have in those days. Oh, I saw something really strange. A guy cutting marble with his head. He does cartwheels, and he cuts, and now it's a true guy. One of the countries, Malaysia. I don't know. So, anyways, there's a stone. In those times, they used to have a certain instrument. They used to cut stone with. I don't know what it was.
The worm.
The worm. It's called a tolat hashamir.
What?
There's a worm, an animal. This worm was created, the 6 days of creation, it was created on Friday night, when the time wasn't Friday and it wasn't Shabbat. It was Ben Shemashot. It's half this world, half the other world. It's like a mixture.
Animals created on day before something?
And it's not animal. It's half animal, half like angelic.
Oh.
It's an amazing thing, spiritual thing. It's a worm. It's called the Tolat Hashamir. It cuts stone. That's how they built the Beit HaMikdash with the Tolat Hashamir. They had to take it and let it cut the stones.
What does that do with the bird?
That's why they come out.
That's why.
No, brother, not eat them. Listen to the story. You're a good ones. Listen to this. Shlomo Melech is going to build a temple now, Beit HaMikdash, and needs to use his worm, but he can't find the worm. So he asked the rabbis, where can I find the shamir? Where can I find it? And they tell him there's one person who knows where it is, but it's very hard to catch this guy. His name is Ashmedai. The Gemara says Ashmedai is the king of the demons. He is the king of the Shedim. There's demons in the world. Don't think there's no demons. There's demons, and they're also created half this world and half the other world. And they also are messengers of Hashem. They do the job. And this guy is the king of the demons. His name is Ashmedai. Sometimes they don't say his name, but I'm just giving you the Gemara. It says his name on it. And this guy knows where the Shamir is. He knows where it's located. Okay? So now they have to capture this guy. Shlomo Melech has to capture this King Ashmedai. So how does he do it? He asked the rabbis, where is he located? And they tell him he's located past these mountain ranges that are called Harei HaChoshech, the mountains of darkness. That's where he's located. And over there, he has an amazing thing. He has a hole. Again, I'll give you guys a little rule. I'm talking about when we speak about angels. When angels come from Shamayim, they come to this world, they act like human beings. They eat and drink and sleep like regular human beings. When they go up, they become angels. So this person, Ashmedai, who was a demon, he also acted like a human. And when he came to this world, he would drink water. Everyone needs to drink water. So he used to have a big pit of water in the floor, and the top of the pit, he had a seal, like a fixture like this, okay, a cover, and on the seal had his name on it, and he covered the hole, and he knew that if anyone tampered with the seal, that he won't drink the water, meaning someone tried to trick him. So he made sure the seal was always sealed, and he would never drink if it wasn't sealed. So Shlomo Melech had to trick and get Ashmedai into his hands. So what did he do? So on the bottom of the pit, he made a circle. He drained all the water out. He filled up the pit with wine, and he sealed the back on the bottom. The seal on top was still covered. Still covered. Now Shlomo Melech sent his number one assistant. His name was Benayahu ben Yehoyada. That was his assistant, his shamash. And he sent him, and he said, you are going to go to capture Ashmedai. And he gave him a necklace on it that has Hashem's name on it. It's like a big chain. He says, take this necklace, and when you see him, use it to tie him up, like handcuffs. You're going to arrest him. This is what happened. Ashmedai comes down, he sees the water was filled with wine, he didn't drink it. He said, must be someone's playing a trick on me, I'm not going to drink it. But his desire came to him, and he drank the wine. He drank the wine, and he fell asleep. Came Ben Yahu, threw the chain on his neck. Oh, this is all given I highlighted. I'm just not going to say it. Take too long. He threw it on his neck, and he tied him up. And he woke up, and he realized that he was caught. And he told him, don't move. You have Hashem's name on you. And he's still frozen. And they brought him with him to Shlomo Melech, to the kingdom of Yerushalayim. There's a crazy Gemara what happened on the way. He killed people. He broke houses. Crazy things happened on the way. And he got to the temple. He still did crazy things. As he was walking by houses, things were falling down. Crazy stories. Wow! It's the king of the demons. It's like the what? The Zohar or the Zohan? The Zohan. This is the Zohan. It's all Gemara. All Gemaras. Anyways, he comes to Shlomo Melech Mos area. You kidding me? I'm talking about the king of the demons right now. He comes to the Shlomo Melech's house. This is a crazy story. He comes to the Shlomo Melech's temple. He comes to the palace, and he goes, "What do you want from me?" He says, "I want the worm, the shamir." He says, "That's what you called me for? I could have gave it to you. That's what you called me for?" He says, "I don't have the worm, but I do know who has the worm." So
the one that exists.
There's only one that exists. Only one.
That was one worm.
It's one worm. It's called Tolat HaShamir. These days it's ganuz. It's hidden. And he says, "I know where the worm is, and I'll tell you who has it." And he told them who has it. And the Gemara says that person who had it, he gave it to somebody to borrow for one day. Who did he give it to? The Du Chafit. He gave it to this bird. This hopo bird. This hopo bird, how do you call it? Hoopoe bird.
Is it one of those birds also?
No, there's many birds. It's a bird these days. This bird asked to borrow the shamir. Listen to why. This is a crazy Gemara. But this bird, he used to take the shamir with him. Again, it cuts things. It cuts anything. Oh, I missed an amazing thing. I didn't get to it yet. The shamir, it cuts everything. Metal, steel, everything. Okay? Cuts everything. And the only way to hold the worm is if the Du Chafit, this hopo bird, has a crazy beak, and he holds the worm in his mouth. That doesn't cut him. He holds him in his mouth. And he uses the worm for whatever purpose. Now, they found out that this bird has the shamir, and they have to go capture the shamir. So Shlomo Melech sends Binyahu ben Yehoyada, go get the bird and go get the worm. So listen to the brains, the wisdom that they had. So listen to the amazing intelligence that they had. So he goes there, Binyahu ben Yehoyada, to the nest of the Du Chafit that has the worm. And he takes a piece of glass, and he puts the glass on top of the nest. Okay? Puts glass on top of the nest. Now the Du Chafit bird comes to his children, he sees it's glass. Can't cut it, I can't get to my kids. So what is he going to bring? He brings his little instrument that he has, the shamir, the worm. This is the Gemara. He brings the worm, and Binyahu ben Yehoyada is ready for this. And let me ask you a question: if the worm cuts every single thing in life, how are you going to hold the worm? Even if you capture the worm, how are you going to hold it? It's going to cut your hand. Only one thing you can do it. Only one material that he can't cut. Cotton.
What?
Cotton, but he can't. Pishtan, semed. He can't cut cotton. So Shlomo Melech says, I'm giving you a piece of cotton. When you capture the bird and capture the worm, put it in the cotton. You won't cut the cotton. I don't know. It's a deep concept. But he takes the can and he goes to capture the bird. And the bird comes to the glass. He sees it. He brings the worm. Boom! Binyamin comes out of the tree, scares him, and he drops the worm and he catches him in the cotton ball and he captures it. And when the Duchafit sees that someone else captured the worm, he gets so... Again, this is the Gemara. It's not me. He made a promise to Ashmedai to bring back the worm. He promised to borrow it, he has to give it back. If he doesn't give it back, oy oy oy. So what happens? He sees that he lost the possession, that the deposit is gone. Says the bird goes and he kills himself. That's the Duchafit. When he finds out that someone else stole the Shamir, he kills himself.
That's crazy.
The Gemara says that's why he's Tameh. Because he has a trait of him.
Before that?
Huh? No, the Gemara just gives you an example of what his trait is. He has a trait in him that when things get tough, he commits suicide. A bird, Duchafit, he commits suicide. That's why he's Tameh. An amazing thing. Look how much depth. Look how much depth are in every single animal in the Torah. There's so many things. I can tell you about an ostrich. You know what an ostrich eats? So they don't know what an ostrich eats. It's called a batayana. It's asur to eat also. An ostrich. You ever see it has a long beard, long neck? Next week I'm going to speak about it because it has to do with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. But what you know what an ostrich eats? It says that when Noah brought the teva, he brought all the animals inside. And he also brought all the food. You know how much food he had to bring? Imagine each animal has to eat for a year. He was in the teva for 1 year. It rains in 4 days, but he was in the teva for 1 year. You know how much food? Imagine having a pet turtle. You know how much a turtle eats? Lettuce, carrots. Bring a donkey. A donkey drinks how much water? Right? Bring a lion, everything. However, an ostrich, he has to eat also. You know what he eats? I'll tell you an amazing Gemara. Ostrich, they eat a very special thing. They eat everything, but they also process glass. They eat glass. Noah brought glass to the teva, because that's what he eats. That's his specialty. That's his specialty. He takes glass, he chews it, and he eats it.
Really?
Yes. Wow. And that's why he's tameh. You know why? Because you can't eat ostrich meat, because his meat is too thick. Because if it was thinner, what would happen to him? He would chew glass, he would cut himself to death. But Hashem made him that he has a certain nature, that his meat is very, very thick, and when he eats the glass, nothing happens to him.
You can't eat ostriches then? Not even non-Jewish people?
But they eat anything they want. I don't know how they eat it.
Is it edible, I'm saying?
I don't know if it's edible or not. It's very, very hard to eat it. It's ostrich meat.
Stink too.
Yeah,
They eat it, yeah.
Yeah.
They eat what's called the batayana, the daughter of the. They eat the child of the ostrich. You know why? Because when the child.
It's not as thick. It's not as developed.
Because when the child of the ostrich is developed, it's thin skin.
Sure.
Thin. It's not as hard processed. That's why the mother won't give the children glass to eat, because they know they're not ready yet. It's an amazing book. There's a book that There's a book that brings all the traits of animals according to the Torah. Amazing book. That's the lesson of the Duchafit. That's what it means that a guy gives up hope. That's the whole lesson of the class tonight. Asur, to give up hope. And Yush Torah. There's no hope. There's no theory in the Torah. I give up hope. It does not exist in the Torah. We're like the moon. The moon goes in the beginning. It's not seen. Middle of the year, middle of the month, it shines. End of the month, it gets down again. And then next month it comes back again. That's the routine. That's a Jewish life. Up and down, up and down. That's a perfect Jew. That is what perfectness is. Getting back up after you get knocked down. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen v'amen.